As you all know, the events have been going very well. Almost every day, Sadhguru rides alone to the next destination. As soon as he reaches the destination or the city, there is a series of scheduled commitments, starting with the lineup on the streets to receive Sadhguru, followed by public events, private events, Indian embassy events, as well as media events, meeting with policymakers, ministers, members of the parliament, celebrities, and other influential people. All of you know about the MOU signed with a number of countries and soon with the Commonwealth. So while all this is really great and Sadhguru looks at ease on his motorcycle, very few are aware of the challenges that he is facing riding his motorcycle through the European continent. The effort it is taking to fulfill not just the daily distances, but also the commitment is close to inhuman. The schedule is back to back from early morning to late night, and most often he does not stop for the planned breaks, be it food or much needed rest from ride. Many days he's riding 8 hours, 10 hours a day, and yesterday was particularly difficult. To a point where I'm just not able to look at Sadhguru without tears in my eyes, seeing what he's putting himself through at his age, at this point in his life. Like um, many people in this world, I never traveled long distances by motorcycle, so I really don't know what it means to travel like this. Mostly I use a car, but a car driver can never imagine the challenges on a two-wheeler. These 16 days since the rally started have been quite overwhelming for me to see what Sadhguru is going through. Whatever we try to do to support him is really nothing. So I just want to share some of the facts and situations with all of you. The bike he is using is a heavy bike as it has to withstand the 30,000 kilometers in different kinds of terrain and weather. It weighs around 350 kilograms. Handling a heavy bike is very, very different from a light one or a small one. To ride the bike, something as simple as straightening the bike to kick up the side stand and start it off is not easy at all. If the bike is a little out of balance, it will fall to its side. The bike is designed for long distance travel, not for riding at slow speed in the cities or in traffic. So every time we reach a city or hit traffic, handling the bike requires a lot of physical strength and absolute focus. When he was in Rome, for example, roads were not tarmac, but cobblestones. It was raining, which made the cobblestones extremely slippery. Every turn required from Sadhguru very precise maneuvering and a lot of physical effort. Yesterday he was riding from Italy to Geneva through the Alps. It was a scenic mountain pass, but again, the effort to go through this was almost inhuman. The road was windy with hairpin turns, steep downslopes, which must have been very difficult to handle as the weight of the motorcycle is mostly on the front part of the vehicle. So tipping over is quite a risk. He started riding at 7:45 a.m. and reached at 5 p.m. for a meeting. There was no time to stop for food, just landed into the meeting. After the day was over, in a candid moment, he shared that it was so exhausting that towards the end of the ride his response time was too long, which was not good at all. We saw him at times not able to take the turns that he was supposed to take, he would just stop or engage on a side road, then straighten the bike and go back onto the main road. Um, we're really not able to fathom, the risks he is taking. From time to time, he shares few things. We obviously see that he doesn't want us to worry about him, but we can also see that, it's taking such a toll on him, the whole ride. In addition, it's winter season in Europe. One thing we have noticed is that there are not too many people riding motorcycle on the highways that we've been on, and that's probably because the conditions are too tough on any rider. The initial few days of the journey were sunny when we started from London, but along with that, it's been very windy, which has added to the difficulty of managing the bike, especially on the highways. We could see Sadhguru literally wrestling the winds to keep the bike on the road. Every hour or hour and a half, he has to stop because of the biting cold. Temperatures have been nearing freezing in the past 3 days. His legs and hands become numb, which affects his response time. It doesn't matter how good is the gear, still the cold finds its way into the limbs, making it very dangerous to ride. The wind blast causes a lot of tiredness when riding for hours on end at a speed of 130 kilometers per hour. Though the bike has proper windshield with a strong wind, it still takes a toll on the head, the neck, the shoulders, and the knees. I want also to mention that the riding gear alone weighs almost 10 kgs. This adds up to the challenge of maneuvering the bike. This is why you would see him removing his jacket anytime he stops to relieve his shoulders from the pain of the weight. The jacket is the heaviest piece. Coming in and out of the gear, jacket, gloves, helmet is a struggle by itself for every rider. It restricts the blood flow, which makes it uncomfortable, but at the same time, he has to wear it. There is no way to ride without it. On some of the days, it has also been raining non-stop, yet Sadhguru did not make any changes to the travel plans and continued riding. He always made it a point to be on time to each event. On the highway, the rain greatly reduced his visibility. In addition, the oil, fluid, fuel, and muck that are deposited on the road surface make the riding most treacherous and slippery. Braking is very risky in these conditions, and the fact that he cannot see the distances clearly is a big obstacle. Yet he's not complained about anything. He's just, been maneuvering the bike with utmost focus and precision. European highways are always busy with many trucks. In some countries like Italy, it's very high truck traffic. And trucks create a lot of turbulence, draft for bikers. We've seen Sadhguru's bike wobbling dangerously, almost like dancing, almost like out of control. It has been quite scary at times. So he needs to be alert all the time. He cannot relax his attention even for a second when riding for hours on end. It gets very challenging. In addition, crossing from one country to another is not an easy thing. The rules and the regulations change from country to country, and the transition happens so quickly, there is almost no time to adapt. Whether it's the speed limits for car, trucks, motorcycles, or the lane management, or the frequency of petrol stations to refill. In some cities there are no lanes, and you know what that means. Car coming from all sides, people jumping in front of you. It just gets quite crazy with all the weather conditions. So he's constantly facing unpredictable high-risk situations. Every day that passes seems to be more risky as we engage more and more in this journey. And, you know, tiredness starts building up in the body. Many days he has barely time to rest at night. Because it's not just about the ride, so many other things he is handling to keep the momentum going. You must have heard him share in the recent talks that if he does not make it, people should walk the remaining route. He says it so casually that many of us don't realize what he is facing. We think that nothing will happen to Sadhguru, but it's not like that. Every day we are faced with situations which are life and death situations. Whatever I share, it cannot really describe what he is going through. Yesterday we started chanting the Maha Mantra in the cars as we really don't know what to do to alleviate the risk for him. Having him with us beyond the rally will be Shiva's grace, really. That's the only way I can see it. Namaskara.